Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Predictions. Today I bank up once again by Jimmy and Fluff.
Yes.
What's up, beautiful people?
And today we are going over the new King Piccolo stuff. About 5 or 6 cards were revealed, and we're gonna kind of go over them, give our takes as we read them, and let's see how we see what's going on. Now I know a lot of these are already kind of showcased at San Diego Con, and if you got a chance to check those out, kudos. We got some pictures of those. If anything that I feel like might be a reference that we need to showcase, I'll show it in the video as well. But we're kind of just go over the ones that were officially revealed on Bandai's Facebook page. So starting with the leader, King Piccolo, auto add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, you draw 1 card, then you play up to 1 green Demon Clan card with energy cost of 2 and 10,000 power from your hand. Right, already, I like the idea of being able to kind of. I've always enjoyed self-awakened leaders where you can just draw pretty much 2, 1 from life, 1 from deck, but you get the added effect of now playing a card from your hand on top of that, and we're going to get some of the cards that were revealed that have some interesting abilities being played. The Awakens when your life is 4 or less, or you have 3 or more Demon Clan cards with energy cost 2 or more in play. You may draw 1 card and switch up to 1 of your energies to active mode. Once you've awakened, we now have King Piccolo's World Conquest awaits. Permanent, when one of your Nemean or Demon Clan cards would be KO'd by an opponent's skill, you may place 1 Demon Clan card from your energy into the drop ring instead. Already pretty strong. It guarantees keeping cards alive, and since that doesn't specify like a once per turn, so as long as you're comboing cards off, you have this permanent always ready to go when you're trying to protect certain cards that you want to keep. Auto, when this card attacks, you draw 1. Then play up to 1 Piccolo Jr. or Demon Clan card, both green, with energy cost 3 or less and 15,000 power or less from your hand. So you can't play, in this case, the Eradicator of Evil, I think, because it's a 16k.
Eradicator of Peace.
Peace, thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that leader seems really strong. I know when I saw the San Diego Con reveals for this archetype, I was like, oh, this is like Red King Piccolo Light. But the leader, it actually seems pretty good. And the way that it protects its engine pieces is also extremely interesting. And it just kind of gives you an idea of something else they're going to be able to do with Z energy.
There's some like small limiting factors on this leader that I think is just there for necessity more so than Bandai being scared of an archetype being good, like they were with the Champa and Beerus archetypes from Battle of the Gods. That was just very, very unfortunate for green players at that time. Mm-hmm. But like the front side, the picking up a life being part of the cost to get the auto in general, to even get the draw in the first place. A lot of these leaders that you see that you're going to draw and pick up life will give you the option to draw and then add up to 1 card from your life. So against some aggro matchups, you might not want to be doing that a lot, which could really hurt you. But then again, green has some of the best floodgates in the game. And then the backside permanent specifying the card would be KO'd. So black will get around this, red will get around this. Blue does a lot of bottom decking, so it's not KOing. So it really helps out in the yellow and the green matchups. But then again, we have seen some newer red cards have these specifying that you KO a battle card with a 15k or less or whatever. So we might see a shift to more colors getting KO instead of their unique negging or bottom decking or warping.
With the reveals, we also got a Z-Awaken for the new Piccolo, or I guess in this case, maybe any King Piccolo, but let me read it real quick. Z-Awaken. When your life is 2 or less, and there are 1 or more King Piccolo cards in your drop, green King Piccolo or green Piccolo Jr., play the yada yada yada, just all the special new text for the cards. Your green Mechan and green Demon Clan cards get plus 5,000 power. Permanent, if a King Piccolo card is in your Z energy, this card gets plus 5,000 power and crit during your turn, which is phenomenal. And activate main once per turn, play up to 1 green Demon Clan card with energy cost of 3 or less from your hand. So, granted, I do like these Z-Awaken leaders. My only downside to them is that a lot of the good ones seem to have to be at really low life or really high energy I've seen so far. And that's, in my opinion, really dangerous to go to. But this one doesn't cost you anything to kind of go into it. It just takes 2 Z energy to go into it.
the big trade-off on this one too is most Z-Awaken leaders have some form of draw or resource management attached to them, and this does not. So while it doesn't cost you an energy to go into it, and it only costs you 2 Z energy, you're swinging, you're getting your draw, and then your Z-Awakening, you're gaining 5,000 power and crit for that battle. Maybe you use this on a turn that you're going to push for game, but I wouldn't go into this expecting to go into your next turn because you might fizzle yourself out on resources if you need to draw. And that's the one big thing that I've seen with this Z-Awaken compared to others, is that this one does not have that draw or add card to hand text that other Z leaders have.
A majority of the Z-Awaken leaders also are pretty much base 20Ks. This one has an indie permanent tag that it gives your green Namekian and green Demon Clan cards plus 5K, but most of them are inherent 20Ks, which is going to be kind of a interesting effect on game state, because unless you're playing against blue or like some rogue tech cards, your opponent's leader is pretty much 15K at all times. So it's going to be really interesting playing against a 20K leader, and I think stuff like if you looked at the Roshi stuff, the Roshi gets a combo on swing for free, making him a base 20K to probably play against these Z-Awaken leaders easily, but also incentivizes you to combo more to play more Z energy. So I think it's going to be a really fun dynamic going into having pretty much base 20K leaders at all times.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this guy's going to be 25,000 crit.
Correct.
Because he is a green Namekian, and then you would get the second permanent that would give you the 5,000 power and crit if you had a King Piccolo in your Z energy. So I think he's a step stronger combat-wise than a couple of the other Z-Awakens that we've seen as well.
Yeah, being a 25 crit in your turn is phenomenal. He's still a 20K outside that. But I think the real, rereading this and looking over it again, in my opinion, if I were to play this, I would probably swing with the Awakened leader first to get the draw, play up to a card, then Z-Awaken. It's in rest mode, sure, whatever. But the Activate main is still valuable. You can play another card for free. And now you've played 2 cards without expending any of your actual energy that you have to tap, which gives you the ability to play anything else on top of that. And this one's not restricted to the battle power, so you can play any 3 or less from your hand. Now,
as long as they're green.
Yeah. My mind once again goes back to Eradicator Peace. I don't remember if he's considered Demon Clan. Does anyone remember by chance?
He is not Demon Clan, I don't believe. I believe he's just Namekian.
He's not a Demon Clan.
Okay, so you wouldn't be able to play him, which is fine. But still, like I said, you're still playing potentially 2 cards without expending any of your actual tappable energy, and just expending 2 of your Z energy, which I think is pretty good.
Yep. Very strong, playing 2 battle cards for no energy.
Yep. Going into normal battle cards, we have King Piccolo Sealed Undone. It's a 1-drop barrier. If you have a Demon Clan card in your battle area, when this card is played from your hand, you draw 1 card. Auto limit 1. If your leader card is green King Piccolo card, when you play a green Demon Clan card with an energy cost of 2 or more using a skill, you draw 1 card, add to 1 card from your life to your hand. So, kind of reminds me of Piano in a sense. Piano is kind of a key card for the red Piccolo deck. This is kind of like, I feel like a key element to this deck. We mentioned earlier on the Z-Awaken, there is no draw ability to that leader. But if you have Sealed Undone, boom. Once you exit the main and play a card, you're drawing a card right away.
It's very interesting to me that they ban Piano and then print a card like this.
This one's green. Green really needs to help.
True, I guess.
But also depending where your life is at, this may be a draw 2 for you. You are taking 1 from your life to get down to a lower point in which you probably could do a Z-Awaken if you want to, or just Awaken in general. Going into a card that benefits from playing on skills as well is Tambourine, Demonic Subordinate. Auto for 1 green energy when this card is played, you draw 1 card. So this kind of goes into the leader Unawaken, where it plays I think 2 or less with 10,000 power. Boom, here it is. And then when this card is
And-
played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it costs 4 or less and KO it.
The thing that I love is that this card continues to remain relevant for you because the leader is going to give him 5,000 power on the backside. If I remember correctly.
On the Z-Awaken.
On the Z-Awaken.
On the Z-Awaken side, yeah. So if these are still lingering around, like your opponent hasn't cleaned them up because they're just 10,000s, you haven't comboed them off for your Z energy, you go into your Z-Awaken. Now all of a sudden this tambourine that's been sitting around since turn 1, turn 2 is now an applicable threat again.
And going over another Demon Clan card that was revealed. Sorry, this is the Negate one, which if I recall correctly was very interesting. A demon is born. So it's a counterattack, negate the attack, play up to 1 red or green Demon Clan card with energy cost of 3 or less from your drop area with its skills negated for the turn. Permanent, if your leader card is a King Piccolo card and you have 3 or more Z energy, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by paying 1 instead of its energy cost. So it doesn't matter what color your leader is. If it is a King Piccolo, this negate will work for that leader and play you a card from your drop area if you have it one available. So this is actually really good in red King Piccolo.
Yeah, this card is immaculate. I love this card. I think this card is going to give so much. It's going to give an additional breath of life to King Piccolo, which is still seeing, random success with all of its bans. And now we're moving into the green Piccolo era. And hopefully this card lends to this deck's also seeing similar type of success.
I really like the design of this card due to its permanent, and just that its permanent not only reduces the cost like we've seen across a lot of other negates, but it makes it a colorless card essentially. Which outside of like early black cards, this game has never had a true colorless card. And this, in a way, I've been playing a lot of Magic lately. This card reminds me of it's the same flavor as a lot of Magic cards, at least in my mind. Just the symbol of the 1 really gives me that flavor, and I would really like to see more cards take this design philosophy of being a color card for a specific archetype, but it opens itself up with a permanent or a cost to make it a colorless card for your deck.
And I assume we'll probably get more like this one, just in different flavored decks, different type of leaders or whatnot. So I like this approach for permanents. I do agree with that, and hopefully we see more of those.
Yep.
So with that being said, this was kind of the King Big. I just realized that. Hang on. So the Z-Awaken on this one particular is actually just a Piccolo Jr. I didn't catch that at first. Okay. So he loses the King Piccolo status when you do that. Which, if you do the Z-Awakening, you cannot
You turn this off.
Yeah, you turn this off.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that Z-Awaken specifically is going to be for the kill turn.
Yeah.
You're not going to use that and then play on that leader. And that's the way that I see the Z turns, is you're using them anticipatorily to close out the game.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, yeah, like I said, these were the reveals for kind of the new King Piccolo coming out, which once again, excited for it. And with us getting the reveals, we're going to start getting more and more of the cards on untapped like that. So hopefully we can start actually doing our test plays with these decks ahead of time instead of kind of waiting when they're releasing. So hopefully you guys look forward to that as well. And with that being said, there's buttons. Click them. They're there for a reason. We're going to pass over the fluff.
As always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to, and fluff out.